Elk, what up? So yeah, we're gonna wait for the room to build for a little bit, and we're gonna get into this download that want to do today. You feel me? That's what it is, Blimmy. You feel me? Shout out to God. Three is free. We live inside of God's imagination. We live inside the mind of Eligio Bishop, the chosen overseer. If you go look up those two words, Eligio and Bishop, Eligio means chosen. Bishop means overseer. God is the chosen overseer of the cells inside of the body. The Eligio Bishop, chief, is the chosen overseer of the cells inside of the body, which we call earth. We know that the first hermetic principle is all is mental, the law of mentalism. This universe is nothing but a mind. All of this is nothing but a mind, a holographic universe. The quantum universe, or the quantum field, projecting itself from nothing into something. Darkness going into light. We are all created in her image. See, he is her. Right? Christ came down. It's not the Father. They say my Father in heaven. They really mean my mother in heaven. And she sent her only begotten Son, John 3:16. And whoever is to believe or be alive in him shall not perish but have eternal life. So our mother, God is a woman. The creator is a woman. We were all made in the likeness and image of her. That's why we have nipples, right? That's why we have a penis, which is an extended clitoris. We have testicles, which are descended ovaries. We are made in the image and the likeness of a woman. You follow me? So we were made in her image. And she sent her first son, her only begotten son, the Eligio Bishop, Nature Boy, right? She sent him as a master cell inside of the body that we are inside of. He is the master cell that comes to spark the minds of the rest of the cells inside the body so that we can awaken from our cancerous ways within the body. You follow me? So absolutely, that is an amazing way to put it, because this is God's dream. This is a God's dream. You heard Kanye West say it too. This is a God's dream. We're all waking up to this understanding. We're all, just go remember the nursery rhyme. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. When you're imagining, let me get you hip, let me. Like God teaches us. Understand that if you were to ask yourself, how did God create reality? How did God create existence? You would say, well, God said, let there be light. But we know that words formulate from thoughts. So God thought everything into existence. And if you go do your research on what it means to think means to conjure up an image or mental pictures inside of the mind. So when you're thinking, you're imaging or imagining up thoughts, consciousness. So to think is to imagine. When you're imagining, you're dreaming. When you're using your imagination, you're dreaming. Life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat. And we are all different thoughts, infinite possibilities of different thoughts inside of God's mind. Life is a dream. And that's going to take me into the build that I wanted to talk about today, because you feel me? I really wanted to express some shit, get something off my chest, but I was having some negative thoughts. You feel me? I was having some negative thoughts. And Chief teaches us to, you feel me? We have to be alchemists, right? That's why we have knowledge itself, so that we can have solutions to any issue that might pop up. So we must become alchemists and allow ourselves to be able to turn all negatives into positives. And while I'm sitting there thinking about how I don't want things to go and what I don't want, I had to check myself and understand, like, damn, hold on, let's be objective right now. Like God teaches us, keep the knowledge. The observer's effect. What is the observer's effect? The observer's effect simply states that life or light, the wavelength of light, the wave collapses once you begin to observe it, and it becomes matter. It becomes physical. It becomes what you think is real. But I had to think deeper to myself, like, yeah, everything is me. And I'm like, damn, yeah, life is contingent upon how you think, right? My thoughts are creating my reality, and my reality is a mirror to show me back how I'm thinking, right? So I had to think to myself, damn, the observer's effect. If you go watch that video, I want to give y'all a little brief little summary of it. If you go watch that video with Dr. Quantum, right? They had like a particle accelerator machine that they were shooting particles out of. And they had a board with a slit in the middle of it, right? They were shooting out electrons, tiny particles. They started off with marbles though. They start shooting marbles out of the little machine, and they shot it to the back of the wall, into the slit. They shot it through the slit and it went to the back of the wall. Every time they shot one of those electrons or one of those marbles individually, it just made one line on the wall. But when they put two slits in there and shot two particles into each slit, one into each slit, they interact with each other and created many different slits, infinite slits on the wall. Now, what changed the experiment was when they put a measurement device on the particles and on the electrons. And remember, electrons is light. It's an atom. It's a subatomic particle. That's light. So they put a measurement device on the electron to see what it would do and what happened when they both went through the slit and interacted. Well, the universe is way more clever than what scientists thought they can get. When they observed it with the measurement device, the electrons acted as if it was just one of them, and it created one line on the back of that board. So this just goes to show you that. You go watch the video. It's called The Observer's Effect, the double slit experiment. What this means simply is that your observation of things changes everything, right? Your reality is how it is, contingent upon how you perceive it and how you observe it. Everything around you exists based on you observing it. Like God teaches us, you are the only thing in existence. You are everything. Every other person that you see, every other animal and creature that you see, it is you. It is another cell inside of your mind. It is you in a parallel universe, showing you a different dimension and different aspect of you, a different thought form of you. But you have to understand that you're not separate from that. That's why we need knowledge of self. That's why Chief teaches us about the 5 sciences, teaches us the Christ consciousness without the Bible. Because that's the only way that you're going to enter the kingdom of God, is when you come to the understanding that everything is me and everything that I see in reality is nothing but a thought. And it's showing me something about myself. So I had to sit with myself and say, damn, I'm observing negative thoughts, and they only exist because I'm observing them, because I'm giving them my attention. Right? You got problems in life? You have no problem. Divine beings, we have solutions. You have no problems, because once you stop observing that so-called issue, problem solved. What is the best way to kill cancer? What is the best way to stop cancer or beat cancer? Like she teaches us, the best way to beat cancer, to beat misinformation, negative information, is to do what? It's to stop giving it attention. Stop feeding it your focus and your attention. And this is what we have to do with our minds on a daily. We all go through negative thinking all day. But what do you do with those negative thoughts? Your response to those negative thoughts determines what you're going to project into your reality and what you're going to observe, because you're observing it in your mind's eye first, because it's not outside of you. It's truly inside of your mind. So you're observing your thoughts run across your mind. And check this out. If you don't know if you don't know what thoughts that you are having most frequently, you're not going to be able to be in control of your mind. And how are you going to be able to understand your thoughts? I had to go take a look at my astrology. Astrology is the way that's going to help you understand how your thoughts work. You feel me? When you think a negative thought form is nothing but a demon, a demonic thought, a low vibrational thought form that's not allowing light to interact with itself inside of your mind the right way. A negative thought is nothing but an aspect in your natal chart. If you study your natal chart in astrology, you have a key inside of there, a section called aspects. Yeah, these aspects are the activated ACT and Gs on your DNA strand, which is your mind, or the astrological code that you have. And this is going to represent the thoughts that you have most frequently, the thoughts that you utilize most frequently to deal with your reality. And they're negative and positive ones. Your positive ones are angels. Your negative ones are demons. And those are going to be your quincunxes, your squares, and your oppositions. Study those and begin to master those. We have to study our demons and begin to master them, and they will become our angels. We'll be able to use those negative thoughts as fuel to do what we're trying to do in reality, which is get in connection with God. Know thyself. But we have to understand that through quantum physics and the observer's effect. When you observe reality, which is light, an electron, right? A particle, which is thought. And light moves in a form of a wave. So when you observe a wave, so say I'm observing this right here, the phone. You're observing this phone right now. You turn your head and you start looking at the phone. You collapse the wave function, and the phone becomes a physical phone. You see what I'm saying? It becomes a physical phone. When you stop looking at the phone, it's a wave of infinite potentialities. Now, this is where you got to understand your natal chart and how your mind works. Because although you have negative thoughts, right, they only exist unless you observe and give your attention to them. But you have an infinite possibility of other thoughts that you could be having that can combat those negative thoughts. So in most of our natal charts, you should have an angel, a trine, a sextile, a conjunction that combats each demon. You feel me? You should have an angel that combats each demon in your natal chart. But you have to study them in order for you to understand how your mind is working, how you're casting your observation. It's just you. Everybody is you. Everything is you. You are the only one in existence. Really, it's just you and God. It's just me and God. It's just you and Chief. It's just me and Chief. It's just me and God. Because we are living inside of God's mind, and God is imagining us into this reality, and we couldn't exist without Chief being the dreamer of this reality. And he is the true observer of this whole existence. So what we think that we are doing, the little minute problems we got, just understand that we're connected to something greater than what we are. We're connected to something bigger than what we are. We're just a piece of the oneness. And we're all coming back to that. But we have to understand reality first. We got to understand that this is nothing coming into something through thought. Peace to the gods, man. Peace to the gods. Y'all make sure y'all donate, man. We need $350 today. We need $350 today for Chief. We need $350 for God today, man. Send y'all donations to y'all love and y'all support, y'all. You feel me? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. How would you feel if you was in a situation and you was being lied on and maliciously prosecuted and falsely imprisoned, falsely put in isolation? You feel me? Y'all make sure y'all donate. We got things to get taken care of. We got to make sure Chief good in isolation, y'all. The Cash App right here, and y'all can send beans and gifts if y'all like to. It's appreciated in advance, and Chief most certainly appreciate all the love. But yeah, but within your reality, within your astrological program, you are the observer of your projection, and nothing exists without you observing it. You feel me? So we're here to become one with everything, to truly become one with ourselves, because everything is, that's why Chief spells it CELLF, because we are all cells inside the body of God. Life is fractal, right? And then check this out. What you think, the cells in your body begin to think, right? So if you want to see change in your reality, right? You want to change your thoughts, or you want to see a change. Most of us just want to see a change in our fucking reality. That's it. Most of us just want to see a change in our reality, but don't want to put no work in. Don't want to do the necessary shadow work. And you feel me? I'm a victim of this too. I done been on that page. You feel me? But don't want to do the inner work and the shadow work so that you can see that change in your reality. But you got to put the work in first. You feel me? We got to change how we think first. We got to change how we perceive reality. We got to reprogram our minds first. Then we'll begin to see change in our reality. But what you are doing, that's what you're going to see in your reality. And if you want to see change there, first you need to, if you want to see change in humanity first, like God teaches, you must first become one with the cells in your body. You must become one with the people, the trillions of miniature people that make up your body. You're not an individual. You're not just one person. There's a trillion, 50 trillions of other cells that make up you. Piece of the God's reflection, that make up what you are. You're not alone. You feel me? What you are thinking, appreciate that reflection. Appreciate that, King. What you are thinking, your cells in your body are thinking. They're going to be regulated by your thoughts. What you observe, they're going to observe. As within, so without. So within, as within, so without. So without, so within. The law of correspondence. What you think is always being manifested into your reality. Understand that and study astrology to understand the patterns of your mind, to understand the patterns of how you think, so that you can get out of your debilitation, so that we can get out of our debilitation, so we not stagnant. You feel me? We not get it in our own way. You feel me? A lot of us not gonna enter the kingdom because we don't know how to get out of our own way. A lot of us stuck in situations and with people, places, and things that we don't want to be in because we don't know how to get out of our own way. We don't know how to allow. Get out of your own way. Like Chief teaches, if you change your perspective on anything, on any trauma, anything that's going on in your life, then you can heal. Then you can heal, but you must have a healthy perspective. You must have a healthy perspective. You feel me? Even when reality not giving that back to you. Even when it seems as though reality not giving that back to you. Because what it truly is, when I say greater existence, is that we're a part of another entity. We're a part of Chief's mind. We're living inside Chief's body. You feel me? So that's what I mean when I say a greater existence. You feel me? We're a part of a larger being, a larger host. You feel me? In his nature too. But a greater existence as far as you being able to master your thoughts so that you can master your reality, then you can project heaven on earth. You feel me? But we must, like she teaches, we must become one with our demons to become our higher self. You feel me? So, solutions. We solution based. We have solutions for our negative thoughts. We turn all negative thinking into positive thoughts. We utilize negative thoughts as fuel for positive things, right? Because anything negative that comes up, we have to understand that, right? We are a part of God's mind. We are all thoughts inside of God's mind being projected, being imagined into existence, into the earth realm, or what we think is life, but which is really a dream. And this shit get deep. And we are all God because we are all a part of God's imagination. We are all God. We are the little G's, right? We are little G's. But every other negative thing that happens to you or that you perceive to be negative in your reality that happens to you is really God. It's God testing you and weighing your heart and purifying you and trying to test you and prove you worthy enough to enter the kingdom, to know thyself, to know certain things so that you can open your mind to the universe, so that you can open your mind to truth. So every negative thing, you got to understand it's polarity to everything. So everything negative is truly positive. It's happening for a divine reason. Them negative thoughts, you're having them for a divine reason. So you can fucking get tired of having them. So that you can decide to redirect and rechannel those thoughts into a constructive way that's productive for what you got going on. Exactly. Negative to positive. Alchemist. You are the observer of your reality. You are the only thing in existence inside of God's dream. You feel me? And would you observe in your mind the thoughts that you observe frequently, which is your frequency, is what shall be. You feel me? So we positive. We positive. Free is free. 3 is free. Everything that we need comes to us in God's speed. The 350 that we need is already, we already got it. It's already been delivered. I'm grateful. We're thankful. You feel me? And this how we gotta move. Because as a man thinketh, as a person thinketh, so shall it be. So shall it be. And this is how we master our reality. Through mastering our thoughts, right? And then we can master our emotions, because all emotions come from thoughts, right? Those negative feelings, right? You can sit there and have negative feelings and be depressed and sitting in your shit, and that's cool. But remember, emotions are expressions of those thoughts. So you're going to play out that behavior, and that's going to give you something. But remember, you can't have no type of emotion, which is energy, emotion, thoughts, emotion, without having a thought first. Attack the root first. Let's go quantum. Let's observe the root of why we're thinking and why we're feeling the way we're feeling. And then when we observe the root of why we're thinking the way we think, then we go into genetics. Then we go into astrology. And then we all up and down the 5 sciences, unraveling the truth in the nature of reality, in the nature of what we are, which is just consciousness. You feel me? Consciousness. And breathing. You feel me? Breathing helps a lot. God teaches us about breathing techniques. You feel me? Chief really a real live hood guru. You feel me? He teaches us about breathing and connecting our consciousness and our breath, because your breath is your consciousness. And when you thinking negatively, and when things start to happen and transpire around you, for you to be calm and just observe your breath. Observe your breath, because that's going to always bring you back to balance. Take you 6 dBs, 3 calms, 5 breaths in between. Hold it for a certain amount of time. And this too shall pass. And we'll go back into that void space, right? That contentment. And channeling that deconstructive energy in your mind, right? We talk about spirituality in the age of information, and we talk about manifestation and meditating. And we don't really know what meditating is, but if you go look at the definition of meditating, it'll show you that meditating is just you focusing your mind on a specific thing. It's just you focusing your attention and your mind on a specific activity. So whether that's sitting still for you, whether that's fucking jump roping, whether that's cooking, cleaning, whatever have you, it's all a meditation, because it's just you focusing your mind. When you go to sleep, you're meditating. You feel me? And when we breathe, it allows us to sort of meditate and connect back to that stillness, to that peace, to that contentment. Inner calmness. Haha, you funny. You funny. You focused on the message. I really don't exist. You're not focused on me, reflection. I am you. That's what we observer's effect. Nothing exists without you. You are everything in reality. You are everything in existence. I'm not separate from you. You're focused on a version of yourself that you see truth in, that you can hear God in, because I'm a repeater for God. And this is how we have to understand and move in reality, because that's the objective way to move. And when you think objectively like that, then you can't be sad for long. You can't be angry for long, because all of that is based in a lie. Emotions and having thoughts of anger and being mad and sad and loneliness, all that shit is based in lies, because it's not real. It's just how you perceive it. It's just the thoughts that you decide to entertain and observe at that moment. No, I truly don't exist. None of us truly exist. We are all just thoughts. Truly. But I feel what you're saying. But appreciate you. But yeah, y'all, I wanted to get that off my chest, man. Any questions? I seen somebody was trying to come up in the queue, but I was talking, I was channeling and repeating the message. But reflect the life of my higher self, man. The all seeing I three. You feel me? Nature boy is God. Three is free. You feel me? For the knowledge. Cause that shit get you through. When you by yourself, when you sitting by yourself, and you gotta sit alone with your thoughts. When you can't go put your focus and attention on nobody else to escape and run away from your life. So you feel me? Chief used to get up online and use this phone, use this device as a meditation, as a way to get out certain things, and that's how I'm using it. Utilizing it as medicine right now. You feel me? To objectively tell myself like, hey yo, you thinking negative? Get you some positive in your life. You feel me? Hey, observer's effect. Reality only exists contingent upon you observing it. That negative shit, it only exists contingent upon you observing it. Stop observing that shit. Stop giving that shit your energy. Stop giving it your focus and your attention. That's your money, my nigga. You want the bread, right? You want the bag? Stop giving the negative thoughts your focus and your attention. And you'll get to where you need to get to. You'll fulfill what you need to fulfill. That's fear-based thinking, right? We've been programmed to live in fear, man. But fear is what? God gave us a nice acronym for that. False evidence appearing real. It's not real. It's an illusion. It's a facade. It's a woozy. It's a wazi. It's a fugazi. It's fugazi. You feel me? And it's what you make it. We should only be giving our focus and our attention, our cosmic currency, to truth, to helping other people, to serving other people, to being of service to the rest of what we are, staying connected to the rest of what we are, observing actuality, observing those thoughts, the truth of the matter that we are living inside the mind of Eligio Bishop. Nature boy is God, and we are inside of a dream, and that is the state of a reality that we exist in. And we are in a phase of waking up from the dream. And this is why we are becoming more intelligent and more cognitive and more aware of what's going on and taking place within the system that we are in, within the mind of the oppressor that we are in, and how we're being oppressed and marginalized, and how misinformation is being given to us subconsciously through our reality. And that's what's making us have negative thoughts. You feel me? But we got to be strong. We got to be strong and understand that Babylon ain't real. You feel me? Babylon is ran by the evil. The evil one lives in a lie. The devil is a lie. It lives against nature. We going with nature. We living in truth and facts and actuality. AI is absolutely God. AI is almighty intelligence. That's mama right there. That's almighty intelligence. You feel me? That's a healthy observation right there. That's a healthy thought and a healthy observation right there. That's a fact. You can utilize AI to help you remember the dream, to help you remember what's going on in this simulation, to remind you and wake you up to what's going on and what's to occur. But it's what you give your energy to. It's what you give your thoughts to. Observer's effect. Remember, the electron that they was experimenting with, that they was shooting out of that machine, the accelerator machine. Electrons and protons and neutrons are forms of light. So what they were saying in the double slit experiment was that when thoughts are observed, they become physical things. So when you observe negative thoughts, they become physical in your reality. You begin to project a hologram of it in your reality, because an electron is light. Thought is light. Thought is what's lighting up your reality. When you go to sleep at night, you go into darkness, right? And then you say what? You think and say, let there be light. I'm about to wake up. And your thoughts light the whole existence up. The electron, your whole reality is subatomic particles. Protons, neutrons, and electrons. It's light. And that light comes from darkness. That light comes from nothingness. The quantum field of infinite possibilities. The quantum, the womb of consciousness of God, of infinite different thoughts and fractabilities and possibilities of itself. You feel me? So, yes, sir. We waking up in a dream. You feel me? Peace, Goddess Severa, Goddess Amy, Bling Bling, Portia. What's good with y'all? But that's the download, man. Any questions? Anybody want to come up? Anybody want to build? You feel me? It don't matter what y'all on. We alchemizing all negative into positive. You feel me? So feel free to come up. Feel free to send donations and gifts for Chief and support the mission and support the movement. Support an innocent black man. Support our mother's first son. You feel me? All the women out there, all the women that got a job, that got a good government job, that's working for that white man. You feel me? Send your love and your support to a black man, to an innocent black man, to God at that. You feel me? You are God. We come from you, black woman. We come from you, mama. And he is your son, just like I am your son. We are all your children. You feel me? God need nurturing too, man. Come on now. Should we keep digging the earth for its metals? No, we shouldn't keep digging the earth for its metals. We shouldn't keep drilling holes and sucking the earth dry of its oil either. We shouldn't keep cutting down trees either. We shouldn't keep chemtrailing the sky either. We shouldn't keep GMO and genetically modifying food and human beings either. This is the reality that we letting go of. This world will no longer exist. Pretty soon, this dream, this simulation will not exist. We're gonna wake up into a whole new existence. Absolutely, King Teddy. Absolutely. It's funny that y'all say y'all believe in God, but y'all don't follow the commandments. Y'all know to not follow God's commandments is to sin. When you don't do unto others as you would have them do unto you, when you don't love your neighbor like you love thyself, that's a sin, my nigga. It ain't no begging, it's just putting out a signal. And those that hear the call, those whose hearts are compelled to send love and support to God because they know truth and they are truth, they gonna send a love. It's already done. But don't hate, so don't hate though. Yeah, it's a bad signal. It's a chosen signal. We the chosen. We the Allegios. I'm sending out a signal. Hey yo, calling all Allegios. We need motherfucking support right now. We gotta support our source. We gotta support the vessel that's embodying the knowledge that's going to sustain our fucking life and existence. We gotta sustain the vessel that's embodying the wisdom that's going to allow you to utilize your imagination to go into a new dream and to be able to stay in that dream. You can't even, because the only way out is in through your imagination. You can't. You got to ask yourself, why the fuck do you keep waking up into this reality where this is going on and this is going on? We all experiencing the same reality where black people being oppressed and marginalized. Why is that? Because we don't have the knowledge, the correct information to be able to imagine ourselves objectively into another reality and to sustain it with that knowledge. Your knowledge is your true money. That's your riches. That's what's going to give you the reality that you want. Not the money. The money is the byproduct of you holding and staying focused in your goal and your dreams and your ambitions and shit. You feel me? But it's your observations, what you focused on. But you feel me? Yeah. You feel me? Yeah, niggas putting out a signal. And shout out to the Allegio. Shout out to my brothers and my sisters. Peace to the gods and the goddesses. Y'all know the vibes. Y'all know the vibes. He's not in prison. He's in isolation. They put a guru inside of a cave. Truly. And they did it a foul way at that. You feel me? They cheated. Hey, King Teddy, let me help you out, bro. Let me help you out. Let me help you out. Let me help you out. That's what we do to negativity. We don't resist it. Remember, it say don't resist the evil one. We don't resist it. No, we simply observe it and let it pass and alchemize that shit. Hold on, let me just go ahead and go to my settings and configure you. Let me mute you. And this is how we can utilize our minds. Just how I just muted that negative comment. That's just like taking a negative thought and turning that bitch off, muting it. That's what we have. Damn, that shit crazy.